Welcome back to the Berg Podcast. Thanks for joining us today. With me today is Dan.
Hey, everybody.
And Ford.
Hey, how's it going?
And I got to say,
you nailed it.
Yay! That's amazing.
I didn't mess this one up. Anyways, thanks for joining us today. Today we're talking a little bit around the table here, on the coffee table. We're talking a little bit about CONEXPO. And it's coming up in a couple weeks, maybe
a month or so.
Yeah, a month and a half, something like that. And I've never been. So, I mean, I've been to some trade shows, industry shows, etc. Not in construction though, and this one doesn't happen that often, right? I mean,
every 3 years.
Yeah, so every couple of years it happens. And I've only been in the construction world for going on 8 or 9 years, so there's never really been a reason for me to be exposed to this kind of thing. And I don't know, about a year or so ago, I was at a meeting, and it's this guy. He was a CFO, a former CFO of a local contractor, and he was like, every year I go, and basically to convince the guys not to buy new machines. Right?
That's why you're not allowed to come. You haven't come yet.
So I started to figure out why I've never been invited, and
yeah, that's literally the opposite of why they have this expo.
But you guys have been a couple times, right? Or
damn, you just did
I've
the
been
last
there
once,
Yeah,
and I was there twice.
okay.
Yeah.
And so it's got to be more than just the machines, or is it really about a lot about the manufacturers and the equipment?
So basically, it is. Well, there's one bigger one, I think, in Munich, Germany, and then this one's the U.S. version of it. It is the largest collection of manufacturers with equipment there.
Okay.
And so the neat thing is that it's not just like one piece from each person. You know, the big brands will bring out, first they'll bring out all the new stuff they're releasing for that year, the updated models, but they'll bring out, like a big brand like Komatsu or something will bring out like 10 pieces. So you're not just like seeing one particular piece, you're seeing the new stuff, maybe the stuff they're trying to. So I don't know how many acres it is. I know that when I did it the first time, I think the first day, 20,000 steps, 30,000 steps. I mean, it's just acres of stuff because they want space for everybody to get there, and it's people from all over the world. And it's just kind of a free-for-all of where we spend a lot of our resources.
Yeah. Well, is it always in Vegas?
As far as I know, I don't know much about the history, but since I've been even known about it, it's always been there.
And I've also never been to Las Vegas, but is there like one? Is it all centralized, or you got to go kind of all over the place?
It's all centralized.
It's centralized-ish. I mean, you have like an inside and an outside. So there's the just huge convention center I have no idea how many acres. Yeah. It's humongous. And then you have an outside venue very close by.
Yeah, and it's sort of, from what I've been told, at least it can be a little bit of a construction reunion, right?
It's a reunion / if there is people that are possibly famous in our industry or quasi-famous. I mean, it's pretty much anyone you've ever seen do anything on any type of media will be there. Yeah. And now I've only been there twice, but we haven't done a lot of things. Like, I ran into a couple of the local contractors there. Not everybody goes. It's definitely in our community, maybe not a huge thing, but some people, I ran into a guy on the elevator one time, and it was like his 10th time there. So that'd be 30 years of going to this event. So this is like, when the one's over, he's already circling 3 years down on the calendar.
He's got it on the calendar.
Yes.
Well, it was funny when we went for it, and it was the first time I had gone, and also the first time I was in Vegas. And we got to the airport, and there was our plane was just full of contractors.
Okay.
So
bunch of goateed guys with boots on.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And they were all going to this same place. So it is unique when you think about that. I mean, we were all in peer groups, and, you have that sort of thing. But it's shocking how many people are there. Now, there's so many people that, will you see them all? No, probably not. But also then all the manufacturers have events, and so there's all dinners and parties and whatnot. It was muted when I went, now, like, infamously, it was 2020.
Oh yes.
Tamara was pregnant. and
We
neither.
thought we were about to have the longest road trip on earth.
Yeah, and neither of the girls were happy. They were taking COVID very seriously. I said at that point, I still remember. I've said it many times. I said, Aaron, what do you think? They're going to shut the United States down? That's the craziest thing I've ever heard. Like you can't shut down the U.S. economy. And we're
4
out
days
there.
later, the president says, "Hold my beer."
Yeah. Like 2 days later, we're at the airport renting a truck that we put underneath of the Venetian. And our plan was we didn't tell the girls, but we would just drive home. Like, if worse comes to worse, we'll just drive home because we can't get stuck in Vegas. We'd both be divorced, and neither of us really is a proponent or a believer in divorce. So
Remember, we went to like the Family Dollars down the road, never getting off the topic, looking for, at that point, hand sanitizers was hard to come by.
Okay.
So we were like, well, maybe out here they haven't heard about it yet. So we're like in like this small town that literally has like 6 houses in
we
it,
were
and
in
a
the middle
Family
of the
Dollar.
desert because I had wanted to see the Grand Canyon, which is a hike. We drove by the Hoover Dam. We drove once we had the truck. We figured let's just drive.
Yeah.
And we're coming back, and I'm not kidding you, there was like those tumbleweed things you see in like the
Oh, yeah.
Yellowstone shows blowing down the street, and this like Dollar General. And I was like, Ford, the girls are going to be amazed. We're going to find hand sanitizer because they swore there was none.
And
And I was like, there's no way. These people don't even know that COVID's coming. I mean, there's like one telephone in this town. And we get in and we asked, I was like, where's all the hand sanitizer? I asked them, and they said, like in a, Las Vegas. I don't know what that accent sounds like. I forget. But they're like, boy, don't you know about COVID? There's no hand sanitizer. It's like, what? Even they know about COVID.
How do you guys know?
I don't even accept that it's happening. And you guys have already sold out of hand sanitizer. There's only 12 people in the town. Who bought all the hand sanitizer?
That's great. Yeah.
But jumping back real quick about this is that, it's not just dirt. So it's all construction.
Okay.
Now it's more tailored towards what we do for a living, but cranes and
processing materials, crushers, screeners.
Yeah. And then you get the big manufacturers that are like the big equipment manufacturers, but then you have all the parts manufacturers and the truck manufacturers. So like there's people we've never heard of. And so what I get out of it going is trying to see if I can find one new thing that maybe is new to the market that we've never seen before or hasn't sent us 22 emails in the last week trying to sell it to us. Or, how do people use something that we don't use it that way? Because, you're always trying to figure out that one little bit better way of doing something.
Right. Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah. It is. I mean, it is interesting. You get to see a lot of things, because it's hard. I mean, you go, even now, like we'd want to see some machine and we got to figure out who's got one that size that we could actually see, even if they have, like Volvo has a yard not far from us, like an actual manufacturing site that you could go to and see their stuff. Komatsu's further away, Cat's further away with actual site. I mean, you could go see a Traco sitting in a lot, but it doesn't. Yeah. I could see a picture of it. And
it doesn't have the same effect.
It doesn't have. It's not the same as actually getting in and be able to run it and just see how it feels when you move it. How does it track? How stable
is that a thing? Like at CONEXPO, can you? Is there like a place you can operate some stuff, or is that not really a thing? It's mostly display.
They have operational demos, but I haven't seen a lot of
testing or something. Right. Yeah, you can't personally.
No, but you can see it run.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But
Which is different.
The guy running it is probably. I mean, he's a professional operator who does nothing but he's been practicing to do that. You know what I mean? Whereas our operators are doing whatever it is they do every day to get the job done on any piece of equipment.
Yeah.
This guy's practiced to get this machine to do this. But still, you get to see him run and you get to see, we saw a few things. I mean, we ended up with the tilt rotator on the two of our track hose now. And we had wanted them, but we couldn't find them anywhere. And we were able to see them there. Ford ran a few of them. Just got to see what they feel like.
Well, that, and also then we're getting down to the next level. Like the softwares we use here at the office.
Right. I was going, so that's where I was going next. I mean,
yeah, they're there as well.
So, like a lot of the stuff that I go to, the vendors are there, but there's usually like an education component. You sit in, you see things, or maybe you go through a class or something of that nature. So I was kind of curious if that part of it exists. I mean, but is it mostly just vendor display, or is there some type of like educational component to it? Like you could sign up for some class or some.
There is that piece. I will be truly honest. It doesn't interest me, just because
That's fair.
it's like, okay,
Ford loves being in the classroom.
yeah. I mean, like if you're going to like a specific, just something maybe for accounting or for accounting software, it's going to be specific to that. But they have classes on a bunch of stuff. But based on how much stuff there's there to see, I don't know, unless you decided not to go look at the stuff, that you could fit both into. It's only open for like 4 or 5 days, and so it's like, okay, you only got this much time to do X. You're going to try and figure out what you want to do with that time.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
And some of the last year or the last time we went, 2020, there was some classes, but then when I looked at them, they just didn't have the intrigue that was like, okay, I'm going to take time out of doing.
Sure. Yeah, you have a finite amount of time. It sounds like there's a lot to see. So
yeah.
Like
they have all the GPS stuff, like all the I remember they had I think 2 times ago I was there. I think it was when we just started or barely had any, but they had like the digital dog thing that like walks around that like Trimble makes or something. Like they had some really like, the model airplanes that you can fly that does the GPS, all that kind of stuff was there being, used. And the interesting thing is that a lot of these manufacturers, they actually send the reps from all over the country. So I ran into one of our local sales representatives actually out there. Part of his job is to go out there and actually be on the
presenting. Nice. That's cool.
So it's a huge thing. I mean, you'll see it in every advertisement from now till the event happens, as far as like, if you're on a website construction related, there's going to probably be something popping up, but I definitely think it's something everybody, it's neat if you're in this industry. I'm not sure like everybody needs to see it, but I think it's just see it all in one place. It's definitely a unique,
it's an experience. And as we continue to grow and branch out and know other companies, certainly you can set it up that you can see a lot of people all at once, that you might not see in other places, that you would have to set a specific meeting to go. There's a few groups that we're parts of, and in one of them, the 3 of us were having a conversation, and everybody in the group was going to be there.
Oh yeah, so
so it's like, I can see these these 8 friends that otherwise I don't know how you see those 8 people.
So you get a chance to make a point to see people who are likely going to be there anyways. Yeah, that's nice.
Which and that can create as much value as anything else. Because now you're both looking at something and saying like, well, what do you think about this?
Right. Yeah. How do you use it? Do you use it?
Do you use it? How do you use it?
I bought one of these 6 years ago, and it's been sitting in the backyard, and we never found a use for it. All right, check that off the list.
Yeah, they don't need to look at this anymore. Yeah.
You know what that happened with just yesterday? Jason called me and said your pizza cutter was in. I was like, we didn't get that yet. I feel like we paid for that like 8 months ago. Like, but it's supply chain.
Yeah. Right. So. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sure the big conversation out there will be supply chain issues and figuring out when you can get stuff.
How do you actually get the machines? Right? Are they available? Yeah. That's
I mean, some of the companies we know locally, they talk about they had bought big excavators, and they're like, well, we bought it and we should see it by, and it was like, it was 8 or 9 months out for it. What was it?
Yeah. Almost a year.
It's like, then I picture that like, Brian, I'm going to buy this machine. We're going to put some money on it, and we'll have it in a year.
Yeah, have it in a year.
We'll have it in fiscal 2025.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
It's painful.
Hence why probably the accountants are and people that
that's why they're not allowed to go.
they're left off the guest list.
If we can go again, if we have the opportunity to go and we can all go and Brian goes, we just have to make sure like, there's going to be rules for Brian.
Well, and some people actually buy stuff at these events.
Okay.
Yeah. Like the boat shows.
There's like discounts because it's like the demo
show
unit.
Discount.
Yeah. I've never gone with a checkbook because it's more about a learning experience for me particularly, but it doesn't mean that like they don't try and make, hey, well, if you sign up today, it's like, okay.
We got Brian with us.
I know. He's forgot the checkbook at home, I think.
I don't usually carry a checkbook. So
your signature's probably good enough. But I don't know how we're going to get a track on a plane.
Cargo shipment. Yeah. Can you check that?
They'll probably ship it to Texas to ship it here, just knowing how the shipping world works.
Oh, goodness. I gotta imagine too. Well, and I'm like still a new kid when it comes to the construction world, excavation world, right? I gotta imagine that a lot of the stuff that we deal with feels big for me, but I'm sure you go to these kind of places and you see like some enormous stuff that we don't usually get the chance to operate or be around. Is that accurate?
100%, because I mean, it's part of the wow factor of the facility is to show you something that's ridiculously huge.
Yeah.
Like you can look up YouTube videos of how them like actually bringing it in. It's like 15 triaxles or tractor trailers brought this unit to put it together on the site. We did the same thing. We were in at the training facility. Like the equipment is so like what we think is big is like our equation to our mini excavator to our big equipment is what our equipment is to their equipment.
To the next
like,
size,
the next layer.
or to the to
Well,
that.
and then they put it inside.
Right.
You know what I mean? So then you have, like an enormous straight truck, rigid truck that would be big no matter where you put it, but it's sitting in a building.
Right. Yeah.
And you go up and the truck's almost as tall as the roof of a very large convention center. I actually saw, when you talk about the trucks, I meant to tell you, I was coming down the turnpike the other day. I saw 2 lowboys, one each carrying a track for an excavator.
Oh,
I did not see the excavator, but I was like, if you got the tracks off, I was like, I could probably, Ford, we could play like a guessing game with Ford. Ford could probably tell you the minimum size of that machine. If you needed one lowboy each for a track hoe, what size track hoe are we talking about, Ford?
Yeah, that's at least probably like a 6105 or something. 6105B probably.
See, I told you you'd do it.
Do you think there's any concern, as we start to talk through this, I'm just thinking like logistically, getting all this stuff to Las Vegas, it can't all be local or centralized. It's probably coming from all over the place. And so I'm imagining that this takes like weeks to set up and prepare for. Do you think there's a risk like logistically in a year like this where it's been difficult to get things? There's been delays on machines. Like, will there be all the stuff?
So I'm betting there's probably a yard out there right now that already has stuff in it. Because I think a lot of it comes from off the ports of California and gets shipped into there because a lot of stuff is not manufactured here. Yeah. So they're probably bringing it in that way. So they might have been shipping it in like 6 months early.
They've been stockpiling it just so they have it here.
All the equipment that we need is sitting out.
It's all sitting in the desert waiting for the show.
Not going to rust.
That's where they fly the planes to make sure they don't get damaged. So it's not going to hurt them out there. The other thing that actually I have seen, I don't know if anyone's been to like a car show where they have like concept cars. They also have concept equipment that has never seen the light of day. Maybe they're taking it there to like get like, hey, are people interested in this? Then we'll build it type thing. But I've actually seen things that never
a little beta testing of sorts.
It's like, well, if a lot of people talk about it and ask if they can buy one, then we'll make it. But for now, we're just like showing you a theory behind.
They're taking orders on something that will start production in 10 years.
Exactly.
So what do you think, Ford? On a separate note, what do you think we'll see? Let's play this out and say we end up going, in this rendition of it. What do you think you're expecting to see that might be different? I mean, obviously there's a push to
the hybrid.
Yeah, I was going to say hybrid.
Robots or remote
Autonomous,
construction, autonomous stuff. I think that's the things you're going to probably.
That's going to be the wow factor things. Autonomous
stuff that does it on its own.
Yes,
and electric or hybrid.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the talk of the world. So I'm assuming. Right. I mean, I remember seeing some of it previously, but it was like, that's But I think that's probably the angle you're going to. See,
is that I mean, that's a big push with everything right now, renewable energy and solar powered and battery powered stuff, right? Is that a reality in like big equipment? Like, how big of a battery do you need to power an excavator?
So actually the very large equipment that's in quarries is actually most of it's electric run.
Oh, already. Okay.
Yes. But
Ford, do you want to just, for Brian or other people, like you want to explain that just
because they don't move?
Well, but I mean the how, because it's not necessarily what you're picturing.
Yeah.
Right. In my mind, at least, is so the way that this really runs is it's diesel generators.
Oh, all right.
That are then powering
electric
because of the
size.
The size.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah, and it's all usually for on location equipment that won't move very much. It's not for the stuff that we do.
You don't have to mow, but you're not going to different job sites.
Right.
It's sitting in one spot.
I mean, if you do mow, but you're going to move it once every 3 years or something within your quarry or something of that level. It's not going to be in the size world that we live in.
But you wonder if that could play out. Could that play out in smaller equipment? Could they get? It's funny because I feel like
some pretty big Milwaukee batteries to hook into the back of those things to run them every day.
I would take a big Milwaukee battery, but I mean, in terms of, we all like just because it's where we are, we go to the idea of a hybrid or electric, but you could go to a diesel powered generator, fire an electric system, and maybe that gets you there sooner. Because for me personally, I feel like you're going to end up battery is really the issue.
Yeah.
And how are you possibly going to get something electric to run for the 8-10 hours we need it to run?
Yeah. with the amount of power.
with the amount of power that it's going to require.
Yeah, that's got to be.
I don't see how you're going to do that. We can't even get. I mean, the pickups that come out now, they're pushing to get 300 miles. I mean, you know what I mean? And think of the comparatively.
And that's before you put a trailer hitch on it.
That's before you put anything on it. Now we're trying to run, run a rock truck
on
electric.
I mean, someone needs to fact check this because it's hazy, but Tornado, whatever it is, they're out of California. They were out of California.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of the builders back in the day, back when they'd say California would come to be like, you get to build the next 6 miles of highway and we don't care how you do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he was one of the builders back then. There's actually a college named after him in Texas. I read his book, but he actually, to move dirt, he was one of the inventors of an electric motor to run the wheels on a pan with some kind of a generator to run it.
Okay.
Back in like the 70s or 60s.
Sure,
So like
mm-hmm.
people have tried it in the past and it just either has not been productive enough or the petroleum has not cost enough, even though it seems very high, to make people really transition.
Push people that direction.
I just think you'd have to get away from batteries, which is where the generator comes in.
Yeah. And I think that's, from what I know, at least, that's the big problem with a lot of the renewable energy right now. It's storing it, storing enough of it to rely on. So, yeah.
Wasn't that crazy how that's become a thing? It's a big part of our industry right now with the push between, warehouse space and storage space and servers and everything else. But how much storage of anything, whether it be data or power, it's becoming one of the main focuses of everything of modern life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. How do you have enough space or enough juice capacity to get it done? Yeah. But
it's something I enjoyed it going. But I think between the people and the equipment and just the experience, it's worth going. It's interesting if guys can get out there.
Yeah. Well, and I guess the nice thing is it only happens every couple of years, right? I mean, if it were an every year thing, you probably would get, I don't know, maybe some wouldn't, but I think a lot of people will probably say, well, how much really changed in the last 12 months? But 36 months, a lot can change.
Yeah, and this one could be interesting because, you think about it, a lot of people, it wasn't as crowded as it would normally be in 2020 because COVID was starting up and some of the factories, especially the foreign companies, had issues getting people here. And then, everybody's on lockdown for a year and a half, 2 years, whatever that was.
Yeah.
And so now you're like, you're coming out of it. So this could be an interesting one.
Yeah.
Could be crowded, could be.
Well, and travel is generally like way up right now, right? So like people are like, I think like we're going to go do stuff. So could be.
I mean, the two things I would say is that one is I kind of wish it wasn't in Vegas. One, because for us on the East Coast, that's a long ride. And also because especially if you haven't been there before, you're trying to do both things. You're trying to see
Vegas and see
and
the expo.
There's only so many hours a day again. And so all of a sudden you're really
I don't think you sleep in Vegas, right? That's what I've never been there, but
Ford still sleeps in Vegas.
Okay.
I tried to discourage it.
He's like, I'm going to go out, like kind of like we go to a place. You guys like, we're going out tonight. I'm like, yeah, good luck with that. I'm going to bed.
Ford's going to bed.
But
Ford's like, sure, let's do that, and then he like quietly slips out the back. So.
That's right, Brian. If you go, we'll go out. We'll go have some fun with some very approved things that our wives would approve.
Yes, well, I'm sure. Yeah.
Exactly. But the other thing is, it is in March, so it's a good time of year for at least for the people in the Northeast to be able to attend.
That's because we're usually not at capacity. We're not going full bore.
We're starting to wind up, but it's not there yet. So.
I thought you were going to say because of winter, because I don't know if that exists anymore. It's not as relevant anymore.
46 degrees spring. Or something in January. So yeah.
Sweatshirts are all you need anymore. Get the heavy gear.
Boots.
Yeah, boots.
Yeah,
something to keep the mud out.
Exactly. But no, I mean, I think it is an all-encompassing sales pitch.
Yeah,
that's what it is. But it's neat
marketing, right? Yeah.
Wow. Wait, are we back again?
Wait a second.
How did we get back here?
They're not manufacturers; they're marketing companies.
Wait, did they just edit this and like we actually just had one long one and they cut it into two pieces? What happened here?
This was two separate podcasts.
All right, that's a good place to wrap it up. Thanks for joining us, folks. We hope you got something out of this, and we look forward to seeing you again on another podcast.